room.
Nothing.
My discovering the closet door to now be ajar.
Alright, well, welcome to Scary Videos Part 2. I still haven't thought of a name to come up with for this series. If you've seen Part 1, I don't understand how it's physically possible for you guys to be ready to see a Part 2. But, hey, let me just explain. Yeah, we're just going to be watching some scary videos, it's a series, and this one is about a babysitter. So, we're about to watch... Yep. Babysitting horror stories. We're only gonna watch the first one, depending on the time. I want my videos to be from 10 minutes.
When I was
to
18,
16.
I was a babysitter for 3 young boys across town from me. They were 3, 5, and 7. I'll just call them Adam 3, Bobby 5, and Chris 7, ABC. Adam and Chris were the easiest to take care of. Adam was a surprisingly well-behaved toddler, and Chris just liked to play his video games and watch TV. Bobby, on the other hand, was very moody, a picky eater, and difficult to get to go to sleep. I had worked for this family for months, and I was somewhat close with their mom Lucy, who was raising them by herself. They had a decently modest middle-class house. Lucy's parents would help her out with finances and such. All 3 boys had their own rooms. Lucy worked nights at the time, so I'd always babysit till around midnight on weeknights, and my college classes would start in the afternoon, so it worked out schedule and sleep-wise. One night after playing some Nintendo Wii games with Chris, I put Adam to bed, and not long after, Bobby. Chris's bedtime would be 9:30, Bobby's would be 9. After tucking Bobby in, I started telling Chris to start changing into his PJs after his next game was over. Chris insisted I play one more game of Wii Tennis with him, so I made a deal that he'd go to bed after if I did. During our game though, Bobby started crying for me up from his room. I paused the game and went upstairs. As I entered his room, he said there's a monster in his closet. I laughed, and I believe I pinched his cheek and said something along the lines of, there's no such thing as monsters. But I'll leave...
No, join me. Amazing babysitter. Babysitter of the year. I don't care how old you are. You're telling me that there's someone in the closet and you think I'm not believing you. At that time.
Door open so you feel safer. Then I asked if that made him feel better, and he nodded. Chris was downstairs calling for me to come back, all annoyed. So I went back to the game of tennis and we resumed. And we eventually finished the game with no interruptions. At this point, Chris went upstairs to change into his pajamas and brush his teeth, and I was alone in the kitchen watching TV. That's when Bobby's cries from upstairs echoed down again. I went up to his room again, and he was hiding under his covers. He said once again, there's a monster in the closet, I heard it. I looked at the closet door, which was closed. I looked at it for a while actually, then back at Bobby and asked, why do you think there's a monster in there? And he replied, I keep hearing it move.
Oh my gosh. If it's one of these closets and I'm the babysitter, no, I'm leaving the house. I'm sorry, I know that kids being abandoned. Okay, pause. I'll take the kids with me and we're going. These are Five Nights at Freddy 4 doors you're looking at, right? Oh, and the thing is, yeah, when you open them, your whole body is... Nah, if it's one of these...
I asked him if he wanted me to take a look, and he shook his head no. I walked closer to the closet anyway, and he said don't. I didn't take him seriously, till I heard something in the closet myself. It was very clearly the sound of something alive in that closet that tapped into the door, or something behind the door. Bobby whispered, see? I turned around and picked up Bobby and said we're going to another room. I also grabbed Chris from the...
Oh, okay, someone's in your closet. No worries, we'll just go to the next room. Don't worry, you can keep that room. What is this, a hotel? Sucker, get your bum up and we're leaving the house. Voice crack.
Bathroom and brought him into Adam's room, where I locked the door. Adam and Lucy's room share a Jack and Jill bathroom with 2 entrances. I went into the bathroom and called Lucy and quietly asked if there was a possibility of there being an animal in the house or in the walls, because there were sounds that Bobby was hearing that I heard myself. She sounded concerned right away and wanted me to check the closet. I kept her on the phone as I went back to Bobby's room.
Nothing.
My discovering the closet door to now be ajar confirmed that there was someone in the house with us.
Alright, chill. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Nah. What's up with the sound effects? Whoa, no. Get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Is it every day of October I need to be getting scared, fam? Nah, G. Yeah, you see the color of my skin. Bro, I'm not even... You play that sound effect again and your boy is shooting up. Look at you. Look at you. No blanket to protect you. Look at you. You guys will suffer. You guys will suffer watching this video, fam. Alright.
I told Lucy, and she freaked out, telling me it was most likely her crazy ex and to get the kids out of the house. I suddenly felt like my life were in danger, and her ex was going to come out of nowhere and run at me. I went to Adam's room and managed to get the 3 kids out of the room, but just as I did, I heard the front door to the house slam shut. I peeked down into the living room, and there was no one there, but the front door was shut. He must have made an exit while he could. I went to lock the door, then called 911. Lucy came home from work early, and was there when the police came. Without cameras or anything, there was no proof that it was her ex, though. Her ex is the father of Adam, but she keeps him away from her because of their past that I won't get into for her privacy. Long story short, he can't take it, and she just recently blocked his number, which would explain the possibility of him breaking into the house. The police recommended changing the locks on the doors and such to Lucy. She understood I wouldn't feel comfortable staying in that house for a while after that, so she started letting the kids stay with a relative or one of her parents coming to watch the kids.
Is everyone just stupid? Someone practically busted through your house. No worries, just change the key lock. No, don't worry, just find a new location to move.
I don't know what happened after that because we kind of fell out of contacts. I didn't really like the fact that she was okay with me checking the closet when she was already suspicious that it was her ex. It was definitely a horrifying experience.
Alright, we have enough time to watch another one. And I got an ad. Charlie E. Story 2.
I had just turned 14. It was the summer of 2012. I was looking for a job. My grandma had told me about a family that she was friends with, and they had 2 boys, Alexander and Danny. Alexander was 10 and Danny was 5. I was very excited to have a summer job and get some extra spending money. I went over to meet the family with my grandma, and they were friendly enough. The 2 boys seemed easy to handle and not babyish or whiny at all. In fact, the boys and I were playing with their trucks, getting along great. I set up a date with the parents, and they actually had a dinner to go to the next night. So the next night, it became time for me to head over to the house. It was a humid, rainy night. I walked into the house, and the parents were just getting ready to leave. They gave me a paper with rules and such, things they didn't want the kids to do and their routines. They wrote a little something on the side that said Danny swears he hears tapping on his window every night, but not to believe it, because they think it's just a silly story that kids make up. I was only 14 myself, so reading this was a little unnerving, but I sort of forgot about it. It was a chill night. We watched TV and played with toys. They didn't give me any sort of trouble, but when I told the boys it was time to get ready for bed, I noticed Danny starting to stall and get kind of distressed. I ignored it, thinking he's only 5 and probably wants to stay up later. Eventually, I got them both to settle down and go to sleep. About an hour and a half had passed. It was now 10 p.m. I heard Danny groggily but loudly yell for me. I rushed up to him and asked what was the matter. He told me he heard the tapping noise again. I instantly felt uneasy and nervous, but I just flicked on the light and looked out the window. Nothing outside except darkness and the solar lights from the neighbor's driveway. I calmly told Danny that it was probably just some bugs since it's summer after all. He seemed to come at ease when I said this and laid back down. As I walked out of the room to shut his door, I heard a faint tap noise against his window. I got the chills as I flicked.
Oh! Frick. No. I need another blanket. No. That's a bug.
On the light again and looked out the window. And again, nothing. I kept telling myself that it was just bugs flying into the window, but something deep down told me to do something. I told Danny not to worry as I opened the window and yelled out, "This is private property, I'm gonna call the police."
Yeah.
Moments after I did so, I heard a frantic scurrying into the forest that was across the yard. By now, I must have had goosebumps all along my arms and legs, and I immediately called the police for real. I called the parents right after, and they were thankfully already on their way home. The police arrived and didn't seem at all surprised by what I had told them. They had gotten other reports in the area for quite some time about some stranger going up to people's windows at night, looking through them and tapping on them. They said they got calls telling them the same thing almost every week. Danny's parents just never believed him and I guess took it as some little kid's story or imagination, but it turned out to be very real. They searched the whole neighborhood and never found the person. After that night, I told the family in the nicest way possible that I didn't feel comfortable watching their kids anymore. And I still think to this day what would have happened if anything went differently. Like, God forbid, the window was unlocked or open. Maybe sometimes parents shouldn't just brush whatever their young children say as just their imagination.
Well, you heard that? You heard that? Next episode, I'm gonna try find some more scary, not just some tapping. I want to get hit for jump scare. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Ugh, my voice, man. Enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with friends, and I'll be seeing you later in the next video. Say with me. 3, 2, 1, adios.